Hi guys, so welcome to Pure Vibe. Hi guys, this is Pure Vibes. This is Pure Vibes where we catch crews and talk about everything and anything related to teen. If you have a question, we might just have the answer. So stay tuned to ride this train with us. So today we have the two Tommies with us. Please introduce yourself.
So my name is Tommy.
And I'm Tommy, a dude.
Obviously.
Okay,
Obviously.
Okay, so my name is Tommy and I am in SS2. I enjoy football and anything related to arts.
Yeah, I'm Tommy. I'm a college student. I run a business.
Ooh.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yay!
She's a musician.
Yeah, I sing.
Yeah, she does, and I don't.
So welcome to Pure Vibes, guys. So we're going to be talking about something. There was a question a teenager hit me up with, and I just want you guys to just air your opinion. We are here to hear what you have to say. But before I go into today's topic, how you guys doing? Gist us now. How's your week? What did you guys do? etc. Just tell us. We want to know.
Why are you sounding like a grandmother? Tell us, like you look too sweet.
Because I want to know. Talk to us.
Okay, so this week has been fun actually because I've been learning a lot about videography and I've been thinking about how to make money. Yeah.
We understand. We're out there. Tell me what's up now.
This week was, to survive in Nigeria is very takes with this Lagos heat, and then sorry, but struggling NEPA,
Hey,
stuff
Jesus.
like that.
PHCN.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I thought they
Struggling
changed the name for that,
PHCN.
from that.
Struggling PHCN. So we're happy we're surviving today.
Glory be to God. Mr. Sen, how's your week? Gist us.
Very good.
Just very good. Nothing. No juice. Nothing.
We are old.
You said we are old. Okay. My whole week, since nobody wants to ask, my whole week was okay. I spent my week at work and I enjoyed myself. And I was overworked, but we keep moving.
That really sounds quite boring.
So we're going to be dealing with a topic that a teenager sent to me. So the topic is relating with your parents on sexuality. What do you guys think about that? Because that topic is really something, because no.
Can we just say, like, for the viewers watching, we're in Africa?
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
talking about
African parents.
So
That's it.
that's your seatbelt.
Yeah.
This is not US. This is
Exactly,
Africa.
where you can talk to them freely, where some of us are still locked up. Yeah, so I'm going to be very honest. So Tommy, let's hear what you think about that. Have you been able to tell your parents, have your parents been able to talk to you about sexuality? And if you ask them, what was their reply? Please give us the gist.
Funny enough, I haven't ever had that conversation with either of my parents.
Why?
Guys, mature.
They're African. No,
Exactly.
not that. Yeah,
That's what I said in the beginning. This is Africa. In Africa, you're not giving reasons for
You're
why.
just expected to know.
Know what? What do you like? No, I need you guys to break this down for me.
See, in Africa, it's just shut up. They
Hey.
carry slippers.
Come on.
What that's sad. Don't you think that's sad?
We've grown up. They tell you, my parents did not. So you cannot.
No, there's not like my parents did. I need you to give me reason to explain. Okay, so Mr. Essien, you have a daughter. Yeah. And we want you to give your opinion. How would you treat it different?
How am I supposed to know she can't talk it?
No, but you would you're already
of course,
prepping for it.
Yeah, I'm prepping for it.
Yeah.
But then I'll say that there are ways, all right. Obviously, you have to have the talk and everything. But then, come on, that time is coming. Let's look at what has come already. I have my strategies.
Okay.
But then
I remember there was one time I had this argument with my mother. She's telling me that when your dad was young, he used to pound yam, and I'm like, me, I cannot pound it. I don't even have the strength. And she's like, you need to learn how to. I'm like, in my own generation, is he married? We're talking about probably a robot to do it for me. I keep telling her
Glory. Yes, please. Yes, queen. Yes. Because I don't know what they want us to do. Okay, you guys lived in the generation where they did some things amazing, but this is another generation. You're supposed to learn.
And they just have this, one-way communication. You need to know how to be a girl. Let's say like that. And you have to cross your leg. I mean, growing up, I don't like to cross. I don't know how people do it.
Yeah.
I just sit anyhow. Are you okay? And you have to be. Sometimes it requires a slap for you to understand.
For your brain to reset.
For it to register in your mind that you need to cross your leg as a girl.
Oh my God, Tommy, you're about to say something.
Another thing is that those I stay with say that I am too young, so I do not understand what they mean by that.
You're too young as in what?
As in, we would be watching a movie.
Okay.
Then something comes up. I have a question. Then I ask. Yeah, it's automatic. Their response is, "You're too young." You would not understand. This, that. And many times you end up going to other friends, or you end up going to YouTube or different places to
or when you
ask
guys
your question.
are watching Nigerian movies together and they get to that kissing part, they just look at you like, why you open your eyes? Sorry.
Yeah, but I actually experienced this growing up, and it's so sad. Like, your parents would think that, okay, you don't know what's happening. But bruv, we know what's happening. We just need you to explain to us why we shouldn't.
I never really got that concept of why I should close my eyes during. I will now go and turn on the TV when you're not there. And open my eyes.
Yes.
What is there? Why are you telling me to close my eyes?
Thank you. Preach. Like, parents need to learn to have this discussion with us.
Immediately it gets there, my mom will just be like, so you have started watching nonsense. I see your eyes open. And I'm like, what? We were watching this thing together.
Oh my God, that reminds me of when I went to the cinema with my mom when I was really younger. With my mom, my sister, and my brother. Okay, I think it was Twilight we watched. Jesus Christ. I don't know if you watched the last Twilight where they got married, and then that was when they were now having a lot of sex. Hey! I almost cried in that cinema. Like, I literally almost cried. My mom was just looking at us like this. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? God, I'm like, Jesus Christ. You what? Like, I'm like, we're all in the cinema together. We can't get up and leave. And she was literally staring. My sister almost entered the chair because she was sitting next to her. I was like, Jesus Christ, parents. God, like, all this experience.
Parents should really learn to control, I would say, the narrative, how their children understand certain things, not just leaving it to movies. Then when those movies come on,
but then I feel like teenagers these days, and then it's getting worse. It's not like it's getting better. They want a why. So me, like when I was way younger, I was just why. But then if you don't give me the why, I shut up after some time. But now we have this generation of teenagers that if they don't give it, they can almost slap you. Give me the why.
Do you get? Like, yes, and that's kind of the household I grew up in. So my mom is someone that loves to hear what you have to say. When you're quiet, she's like, it's a lie. There's something going on in your mind. Speak up. I want to hear you. So I was really quiet when I was growing up. Nobody would ever believe that. But I was very quiet. I was really calm. So my mom would always hit me. Talk. What's your problem? Tell me what's going on. And I'm like, why is this woman disturbing my life? But I understood it growing up that she just wanted us to be able to talk to her about everything and anything. And I don't think most people had that. Like, somebody that would just be free enough to ask, like, what is going on? Tell me. But now, this one is what is going on normally. Now, let's talk about what is going on sexually. Can you approach your parents? Let's even leave dad, because sometimes people can't talk to their dad. Can you approach your mom and tell her, oh, I've had sex with someone? Or, oh, I want to have sex with this person. I'm feeling the urges.
You're gonna die.
Like, do you get, like, can you approach your mom to say that, like, I'm feeling these urges, I don't know how to deal with them. What can I do to stop them? Can you tell your parents that? I want to know. Do you feel?
See, it's reflex in African home, his reflex to just get slippers and really.
Oh,
I don't know if you watched that prank video. They're like, Jesus is Lord. I can't remember that popular prank video. It was a prank. He pranked his dad.
Yeah.
That he had impregnated a girl.
Oh, Jesus.
And I think he was just 13 or something. And the dad was just almost all over the place. But then you expect the dad to sit down and be like, oh yeah, okay, how did it happen, right? How did it? But the dad was like, where is your mommy? Call Apostle. Apostle was here of this. Like, I'm sending you back to Nigeria because he was abroad.
Oh,
but then
okay, yeah. Oh my God, I remember
Apostle
it.
was here of this. Next flight. You are going back to Nigeria. Blah, blah, blah. Funke, where are you?
Yes, and that's how.
became me overnight.
True, because that's what they do. Like, I heard of a story where, like, the mom, like, the daughter was ready to get married. And please, don't do this at home, please. I'm begging you. So she was about to get married, and then she slept with the guy. She got pregnant. And then she went to meet the guy's mom and everything. And the mom was all, okay, yes, we get married this month, 30 months. Then she went home. She sat down to tell her mom, Mommy, I'm pregnant. Her mom didn't say anything. In the night, they slept. 5 a.m. in the morning. Wake up! She carried like slippers, beat her, took her to abort that baby.
I don't really get the concept of beating with slippers. Is it to like reverse the pregnancy or take it back inside? I don't really get it.
I think so. There's something about it because there must always be slippers involved.
There's something about the slippers.
The slippers.
Beating the slippers.
Like, I don't understand. You couldn't correct your daughter. But I want to know, like, because now we are young, so we don't really understand. Oh, Mr. Essien, what's going on? Like, why do parents do that? Like, why can't they have a discussion with us? Like, is it just the programming from their own childhood that made them that way?
Okay, so I will speak from my limited experience.
Okay.
Right? But then you can imagine that it's been like taboo. I mean, we are more enlightened. So, what am I saying? There are people who are like my own and still carry on the same thing. But I guess it's just like this taboo thing that, I mean, your parents never spoke to you about, so you don't know how to speak to your children about it. I mean, even the idea of saying penis or vagina, I mean, no, say that word.
It's a swear word.
Like, so it's like there has to be that part of looking at it from their own point of view that, I mean, their father would probably never have said that word to them. Like, you know, they wouldn't, in fact, they wouldn't even say penis, they probably use, okay, those days, I just, we would say talk instead of, you call it one name, like, you can't say it straight, like, you can't call it penis, or you can't, you know, or vagina, you know, they say, bum, your bum, you know, there's that. They would find all ways to hide because to them it's something really embarrassing. Talking about sexual organs is quite shameful, lots of stigma around it. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how they grow up. That's the environment. I mean, even in school, for example, how many teachers actually use the word penis or vagina? Like, maybe you heard it in biology, but it was like total taboo, you know? Even breast, like, you know, I mean, these are body parts, but I remember how excited I was back in secondary school hearing about, you know, sex ed. Like, I couldn't wait was it integrated science or something when they were going to talk about sex education, and we're all happy in the class. But that was the most boring class ever. I can still remember how the teacher, I can remember his name, I'm not going to mention his name. I remember the teacher's name, right? Funny enough, all of us here share the same, we all went to the same school, by the way.
Yeah.
So if I say that, they all know. It was boring. So I guess it's just so much stigma around the idea of sexual organs or the act of sex. You know, it's such a sacred kind of thing that you're just wondering, is it actually a good thing to actually tell my son about this or my daughter about? Like, you know, you don't want to make them I'm just giving speculations of why I think that they would not have spoken about. You don't want to taint their mind. You don't want to. You're just afraid. Like, what? You know? I mean, if I talking to your daughter and telling her, so you have breast, you have a vagina, a guy is gonna put his penis inside it. You don't wanna.
Cringe word.
It's really cringe worthy. And so many of them don't know the approach. They don't understand. They know somewhere that it may be important, but well, some of them may not know how important it is. You get, but even when they know, it's how do I approach this? Especially, I mean, just think of the experiences you had, which is like you said, the cinema thing. You said, and I mean, like, we had the same experience. I remember those days when they would play all these crazy music videos. I've already watched music video. I know when they start shaking the bum bum. I know where. So once it's approaching, I just get up from the park and start walking out to get water.
Oh my god!
I thought I was the only one.
Oh my god, we
I
did
start
that.
walking away, you know. That's how my mom was. It was my father. In our language, you know, this boy knows what they're doing. This boy has what this to.
Oh my god.
So I guess it's just the ignorance and the stigma around it. Like we don't. It's not open. It's like this evil. I mean, sex itself is supposed to be this evil, dirty thing that you don't talk about. And so the organs involved in sex. I mean, the idea of pleasure. Can you even tell your daughter if your breasts are touched, you would feel pleasure? You can't. You're saying, no. See, I'd rather die. Give me. Just shoot me. So I can understand in a way, especially because of how they're raised, the environment they came from, you know, their friends, the way it was over there. Now, obviously, it's not like some of them not watch the pornography very well or even do the thing very well. They probably did. But the problem was communicating.
Yes.
I mean, that's
And then also you hear some parents, you know, quoting that scripture like, okay, I don't want to refer to anyone. Like my mom would say, spare the rod and spoil the child. They use it like, that's what the Bible says. Spare the rod, and so I will not spare the rod. And they bring the rod, they can be slippers.
It can be anything. Pick up anything.
Like, you can't be spoiled.
Yeah, but like, I want to understand this other thing they do.
Oh, that's true. Okay, they think that by bringing up the whole idea of sex, they probably spoil you, right?
Yeah.
That
Pollute your mind.
Yeah. But the problem with it is that I want to understand, because I read an article talking about parents not explaining to their kids why they shouldn't, like giving them reasons for it, like, because most times kids are like, I was never told, oh, let me try it to see what's going on. So an article stated that it would reduce the rate of unwanted sex, unwanted pregnancy, and it would increase the whole awareness on what you can get from having sex, STIs, AIDS, etc. So, like, if this is already an article that is out there, and then American parents are doing it too, like they're explaining to their kids, you can talk to me and all that, why hasn't it like gone down this whole African mentality? Because everybody wants their kids not to have like babies at a young age. You don't want your kids to come and tell you, I have HIV, God forbid, or I have STIs and whatnot. But all you tell me is, don't hug a boy.
No.
Don't sit on any boy's laps. And what's the other thing? What's the myth? Please give me myths parents told.
If you touch a boy, you get pregnant.
Oh my Jesus. Oh my God. That one scarred me for life. Like, what? If you touch a boy, you get pregnant. And then kids now are trying it. What am I to say kids? Like people, youths, everybody's like, okay, let me try it. But they're not telling you about the effects of it. So I'm like, how do you relate with your parents? Because now we're only talking about how parents relate with us. Now let's talk about how we can relate with our parents, these issues, like without them coming across.
Okay, but to be honest, it's not only on the part of the parents.
Yes.
Because thinking about it now, I remember situations where I could have actually chipped this in or asked this question, but I allowed the stigma or the serere concerning talking about sexuality to also cloud my own judgment.
Yes,
so
exactly.
But if teenagers or people just break out of that cycle and just be like, Daddy,
Mommy, I need to talk to you about something. I really want to know. Don't judge me right now. I just need an explanation. I need you to understand that, okay, I'm getting urges. How do I deal with it? How do I deal with these issues?
I think so, yeah, because you have a lot of teenagers, that can't communicate properly with their parents.
Exactly.
They feel like I'm mature, I'm a big boy, I'm tall,
Yeah.
I'm huge.
I can do what I want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then you can't communicate. Now, when I was younger, I couldn't communicate with my parents. I just say no. I say okay. I go, or I frown. I cry. I go. But then I couldn't communicate how I was feeling. Like, okay, this is why I really want to go out. This is why. But then if you have like me, if I'm a parent, and then my child is telling me, okay, this is how I feel, and then I would be able to reason better than no.
Yes,
no.
exactly.
I'll be able to give you, okay, this area. Okay, you said you feel that way. It's because of this. So don't do this, or you get this. So if we have more teenagers communicating with their parents, so one day you just sit down and then sit your parents down. Last, highest. Okay, they'll say get up from my side.
Last shout.
Yes,
Yeah.
get up. But at least you did something. Sit them and be like, okay, I don't understand what you said, but I know, and shut up. I really just at the right time.
Yes.
Mood, because they have mood swings like that. So at the right time, just sit them down and be like, I don't understand what you mean by this. Please explain, and you will see a different side.
Yes, exactly. Because I had this discussion when I was younger with my dad, and then I don't know if everybody had that in their own homes, but once there is something your dad does wrong, or my dad does wrong, or my mom does wrong, you go to them. Okay, I don't like how you did this. Please, can we have a discussion about this? And then my dad will sit down. He's ready to sit down to listen. So if he feels he was wrong, he will tell you sorry. If he doesn't feel he's wrong, he will argue with you. But at the end of the day, I don't know why we always win the argument. Because, Daddy, well, you're not meant to be screaming at us. We are actually human beings too. The same way you want people to talk to you, that's how I relate my message to them. If you want me to scream at you when I'm talking to you, then you can be screaming at me. But
I cannot try it.
Exactly. So my own is we're all human. So how you want your parents to talk to you, talk to them the same way.
And yeah, no parents hates their child like that. Like that, no. It presents them as monsters, but then truly it's out of love. But
exactly.
Then just sit down. Daddy, what do you mean by this? Yeah.
You're planning the next move. What to do next? How we can attack here. So I want you guys to tell us how you want your parents to treat you different. Like, tell us, like, give us an approach on how to talk to our own parents now. Because me, I'm older. But
so
yeah.
I already talked about communication on my part. So when I start getting better at talking to you, I don't want you to, oh yeah, it's okay. Or when you feel like I'm getting to the argument or I'm making sense, this girl is making sense. So when you do not have something to say, you now say, go and get me water.
Dismiss you immediately.
Don't do that. I expect you to communicate. Let's communicate. Like, leave that. I'm your mommy.
I'm your dad. I know better.
I was there.
Who are you?
You were formed.
Exactly. I gave birth. I pushed you out.
They have this thing that they know everything, and then what do you
all knowing beings.
I've been arguing with my mom, and she's like, "What do you even know?"
Sorry, I presented my case.
I don't want them to discard me, just when I start communicating effectively, like, oh, sit down, okay, this is what happened, this is why I feel I want to go to this person's house, blah, blah, blah. And then don't say, it's a lie, you just want to do this. Just listen to me and speak and let us communicate effectively.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that there's a little point there where obviously there was a time when communicating that way was beneficial.
Okay.
So like I have a baby and baby started walking and that baby walks everywhere. I mean, she will walk everywhere. If she can climb anything, she's gonna climb it. She wants to touch wires. She wants to, like, everything harmful known to man. She wants to have her go at it.
Yeah.
And at that point, because she can't understand you, say, stop. Just go. I go back. Like, at that point, you need to bring out the whole, hey, you don't know what you're doing. Drag her out of there, carry out of that place, stop. I mean, when they're toddlers, you spank them, because they can't really comprehend or process what's happening like that. Like, I mean, a baby may touch something to her, she will still go back there. Like,
Yes, exactly.
They've not really been able to process it that well as compared to a young adult, a teenager or so, who is at least, even if a teenager is not so aware of the consequence of his actions, at least you know that if you touch fire, it burns you.
Yeah.
You won't go and touch it again. To register well, you get. Some people still go back anyway. Some people are still bored. You get, but at different stages, there's a stage where you actually command teenagers or kids, command kids when they are small. You tell them what to do, this, that, because they don't know any better. You need to protect them. That's why you start saying, you say, stranger, run away. You know, you tell them things like that because they are innocent, they are naive, they've not been able to process all that. You just tell them that stuff to protect them. But as they begin to think much more for themselves, as they become much more self-aware and begin to crave certain things, and they need to understand the why. It's not enough to just tell them, don't do this anymore. As toddlers, as 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, even those ones seem to be asking why these days.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're asking why.
Yes,
so
they are.
You're realizing you have to actually, your why game has to come. And so giving a reason, I think another thing may also be that, look, because parents are busy. Parents are thinking about how to make ends meet. They're thinking about how to take care of their kids, parent and all. Sometimes their heads are so full that they've not really given thought to actually how to present these things to their kids. Right? Because for me personally, I found out how to, because I deal a lot with young people, teenagers. You can't just tell a teenager, don't do this thing.
Exactly.
You have to have a very good why. You have to be able to explain your why. Sometimes if you can't even explain the why, because there's some things you know by intuition. If you can't even explain why, you should be able to at least explain to them why they can trust you. Now look, see, just trust me on this one, okay? I have reasons. I can't really explain well, but I have reasons for saying, don't go to this party. Don't do these things. Don't do that. Do you get?
Yeah.
So we don't really have that as a culture. Most parents, I think, they stop at that place of just instruct, and they never really get to the point whereby they are guiding their kids. Because in the place of, I mean, you still tell your kids what to do and what not to do, but you want to start to live more in the realm of guidance. Because, like, so, who was it that mentioned something about TV? I think it was you. Where they are watching the sex film. And they say, don't watch it. Go to your room.
You go back.
Later, you go back there when they are not there and you watch the full thing. So why are they saying?
What happened?
You watch the full thing. You know, like, you would actually have to. It's now a generation whereby, like, you have to sit down and say, okay, look, all right, this is why you shouldn't watch this. But I think there's even a deeper question there, which is, you know, have you heard that statement? What is good for the goose is good for the gander. So when we're younger, my dad, before we're born, my dad loved to watch wrestling. Like, wrestling was like, he loved wrestling. But when we were born, my dad, realizing that there's no way his love for wrestling would not trickle down to us, he stopped watching wrestling so that we wouldn't watch it. You see, he set the example. There were other things my dad did not like Nollywood movies. He didn't want us to watch, because, I mean, I agree with him, trash.
I completely agree. I'm
so
so
much
sorry.
trash.
But not the new ones, but the old ones.
Yeah, that's what everybody always says. New ones.
New ones are good.
Yeah, whatever. I still wouldn't pay money to go and watch it in cinema. Leave me, please. They've shot $16 million blockbuster movie like nobody. I'm going to cinema to watch that one. I'm not going to watch that movie. See, but my dad would not watch, like, he wouldn't watch those things, you know, when we were much younger. In fact, I think when he even started watching maybe some Nollywood movies was when we were, like, able to make our own decisions. Like, we're older, I mean, we're 16, 18, you know, 19, 20. Was when he would just sit down and watch some of them. And maybe because the newer ones were coming up. But he set that example for us in those two areas. And, I mean, that's what really helped us. When it came to, like, sexual, you wouldn't really see him watching so many of those things. Like, he restrained himself. Or at least if there's some things he watched, we didn't see him watch them. He restrained himself to help us. So I think there's this issue of do what I say, not what I do. There's a big problem with that, where the things that you are telling the kids is toxic, don't do it, but you are doing it, so if it's good for you, why is it not good for me? You know, there's that kind of thing, and then your teenager will be very curious and want to actually engage. So I think that's one thing. It's not what we like to hear as parents too, so please, any parent out there wants to stole my head. But it's the truth. Sometimes you have to make the sacrifices to say, you know what, to set the right example. Because why let's talk, why not watch a sex scene in a movie? Why not watch it? I don't think a sex scene is exclusive to teenagers. It's for adults too. The same reason a teenager should not watch a sex scene is the same reason that adults should not watch a sex scene, which is what it stays in your mind. It provokes thoughts that are not godly and all that. It's not, you might as well just go watch pornography. The same way you won't just come home and see your father watching pornography in the parlor. Say, hey, go to your room. I just stupid child. I just there like that. You wouldn't see a parent do that. You get, but it's not good for any of them. But I think since this is something we're addressing, there's also the wisdom in the sense that, okay, what if you have parents who are saying, do as I say, not as I do? You have the sense. You may not get your wife from your parents. Do you understand? But I believe God will always put people in your way, on your path, that will be able to give you good wives. For example, you're watching this now. We just mentioned the why. So why would you, even if your father jumped down from the park, would you jump down too? Says my daddy, I do as I see. So would you jump down too? You wouldn't jump down. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's just that whole mixture of, they're supposed to set an example, but what if they don't set the example? The thing about the sex talk, okay, they're supposed to tell you about the sex talk. Okay, they didn't tell you. Oh yeah, go and carry your penis and go and do something there, or carry your vagina and go and carry pellet now. You get what I'm saying? Because knowledge is everywhere. They didn't show you, but you have a phone, for God's sake. Abby?
Yeah. But going through your phone can lead to something else, actually.
I didn't say you should go through.
No, actually searching for information from other places.
Oh, okay, let me put it like this. When I say you have your phone, I mean information comes to you.
Yes, exactly.
Those things come to you. You just
Instagram 2 seconds.
They just come to you. It's a parent's responsibility to educate their children. But now, as we're saying on this round table, my parents did not. It's something that my dad would have probably been very shy about. You understand? My mom also. I think there was once like that she had mentioned. So sex ed, like how she watches this and she says that foolish word. It's only so once that she messed up. I think I was already invested and I had one girlfriend like that and everything. And then I came back from investing one day and she just looked at me and said, "Hey, you're busy committing sin after school." That was like the only time she ever mentioned anything about so this kind of thing pass your mind. That was all. You get so. They don't tell you what you do. See, I didn't tell me. I was just a kid.
Well, I had this friend when I was secondary school. This is another angle. When BB Niger was going back
glory.
So her parents, they will actually sit down and call her. Let's watch it together. And these guys will sit in the parlor and watch this thing together. I don't want to mention some names, but then she used to gist me because I didn't watch it, so I didn't used to watch it. So
what season
she tell
exactly?
me, I don't know, I can't remember the season, but she told me, do you know the mom will actually be telling her, do you know what Mike did? Come, do you remember what Mike did in this place?
Mike? Wow.
So in that kind of setting where your parents are now, they don't see any, but then at the side they'll still be no, don't do this. It's bad, no, not don't watch it though, but then don't sleep around, but then they'll still, let's come out, there's nothing there, it's just entertainment,
So question is that, we can draw the same analogy. Let's bring pornography and watch it together.
They will come back from church and then when I heard she watched that, I was like your parents, your family, you sit down and I'm like,
and that's what I'm saying. Let's draw that analogy. Okay, for example, let's use music videos. Like the average Burna Boy, all this. You know what I'm talking about now with the women who are almost just they're naked.
Exactly.
So sit down, hey son, come. Sit down, son. let's watch
Yeah.
together. After that, you now say, son, that's wrong. Son, that's wrong. Son, don't do that. It's not good. Don't. What's that word? Don't.
Don't want.
What's that thing you say about women? Don't.
Lost.
Yeah, don't lust after women. Don't. They're not a piece of meat. They have value. But you people just really sat down and watched Bum Bum Shake together. So
Objectifying them.
exactly, that's the word, objectifying them. So the question is that approach, because I can understand if, for example, maybe a song or something or a movie, you will sit through it and watch it once or twice to point out lessons, to say this is why. Okay, look, this happened. You sit down and based on what the two of you watch, you now begin to explain. But then there's some kind of things that are too graphic. For example, you cannot sit through a movie where, you know, these movies that are breast, everything showed, the whole thing, like you left nothing to imagination. Right?
This BB Niger table is actually a very hot table. You know,
Yeah, that was a different topic on its own. Maybe Nigeria, to watch or not to watch.
I've been in an argument in church. Like, we actually brought it up in our teenage church, and then I saw people getting so emotional. Like, they were vehemently saying, "No, you need to learn. You need to be exposed." And I'm like, okay.
Wait,
I was trying to reason with you.
BB Nigeria exposes you.
Yes, now you need to know. I think the debate was, okay, would you go for it? And she's like, yes, I'll go for it because, like, I need to socialize. I need to learn how to relate to people, and then this might be my way to substance. I'm like, okay, let me just jump.
Glory be to God. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say.
I think we're actually gonna have like a whole
BB
episode on just BB Nigeria, like not Blackberry. Sorry, what they call it, Big Brother.
Big
like,
Brother.
They will come for you.
And just
They
talk
will.
about it.
They will.
Let them come now. That's why we're here.
It's entertainment, just like you watch entertainment.
Well, I really have nothing to say about BB Nigeria because, well, watching it, I don't know if we can classify it as parents teaching you something. Because what are you learning? Okay, you want to say, maybe they're doing something and then you're learning from that experience that, okay, this person, see how this person got attached to this person's story for the gods. Please, there are movies you could sit down, like Mr. Esen said, movies you could sit down and watch and dissect it, have a conversation. Why we shouldn't do this, reasons. Like, that's something that I would actually love to do with my kids when I have kids. Like, but sometimes you say things and then it gets to you and you're not able to do the same thing. Yeah, you're more like caught up in, I don't want my child to hear this part. And I feel like that's what's happening in the African home. I'm sure my mom would have said, I want to tell my daughter that this shouldn't be done and give her reasons why. And she's doing some of it, yeah. But when it comes to the whole sex thing, they are more reserved, like what Mr. Isen was saying. They are more reserved. They're like, I don't want to talk about this too much so that I don't
stir up their interest.
Yeah,
I don't spoil them, in that sense.
I don't open their eyes.
Yeah, but I've had a discussion with a 4-year-old. She was telling me that her mom and her used to watch Big Brother together. I'm not joking, on God. Like, she could mention the names of the people in the Big Brother. And I was like, huh? I don't understand. As in, the both of you sit down. She said yes, that her mom used to watch it and then she not sit down. And I'm like, she doesn't send you away. She's like, no, that they sit down and watch it together. I'm like, wow.
Maybe probably not sit down and watch hour together.
Jesus Christ.
That's the one now, back in the days now. That was the major.
Oh, 50 Shades. You should just sit down and watch 50 Shades together.
God forbid. No, you can't watch that with your kid. What? What do you want to tell them?
You'll be shocked of parents with you, really.
What do you want to tell them? You shouldn't do this, but you are watching it together. You're literally looking at the same thing.
You know, some fathers say you must be exposed. You must know the things. So nobody can come and tell you nonsense. You must see it.
You must see it firsthand. What you should. Please, no.
I guess my parents could engage their children in debates, or at least like have
without feeling.
Yes.
Well, the truth about people don't like criticism or debates. I mean, they don't like it generally. Especially in Africa. I think we feel. I'm saying we because that kind of, you can't say it's been totally eliminated from our own generation. Like when a person challenges a certain assertion or something
Yes.
like this. Daddy, why should I know what the brother? What's wrong with it? Today? Is it?
Is it me you're talking to? Lack
You know?
respect.
Exactly.
Then the next thing is insult.
So it's like you feel. I guess African parents also grew up with that idea that if a person, if you said don't do this and it's challenged, like why? You know, they raise this as almost as if you are challenging their authority.
Yes.
And really, honestly, that's actually African culture. That's African culture. I mean, you see it even outside the family. You have a boss, for example. You have bosses that behave like what they call it.
They're gods.
Yeah, the bosses that literally behave as if they are your father. You know that kind of thing. Like they say, "Stupid! Come on, sit down there."
Yeah.
You know, they insult their staff. You have politicians who behave like that. Like when we don't understand that thing of separating, separating reason from authority. Like authority is authority.
Yeah.
You get.
Yeah.
And that is age, right?
Yes. Do you know my age?
Do you get? I'm an elder. Do you know who I am? Do you get that whole thing about Nigerian culture?
Yes.
Saying that is what a child can
see standing on a tree and
adults can see faster when
I mean, there's a lot of truth to that, but they don't really see, like, I mean, I'm older than you, you're younger. Why should you challenge what I'm saying at all? Do you get? But I think one thing that we should learn, because you see people who talk like that, they say, "Hey, so tell them when you're a parent to yourself, Daddy, why?" Say, no. You have to. There has to be that learning thing. I have to learn it. It's something I had to at the point in my career. I work with a lot of young people.
Yeah.
I mean, over these I've worked, and there was a time when I would feel like that when they would ask me, but why are you doing like this? Let's not do what? Come on. But eventually I had to realize no one's fighting anybody. Do you understand?
It's not fight.
You shouldn't feel insecure, right? You shouldn't feel insecure because your assertion is being challenged.
Yeah.
I don't think we should do this the right way. You know, in Jewish culture, there's something they call there's this thing they call chutzpah, which is, we call it guts. They have guts. A Jew, you hired the guy. You literally hired the guy. He's your cleaner in your company, and you are doing what you're doing, wherever you're doing it. The guy can walk up to you and tell you, "Why are you doing this way? You know, you're not effective in what you're doing. I think I can do better than you." And it's just culture. It's not nobody fight. They will go back and forth like that. Oh, no. I don't think. No. They will be going back, talking. Sometimes voices, decibels, and it is not rude. It is just culture. You can be carrying your baby somewhere, maybe taking a stroll, baby, and then I'm stopping and say, "Why are you carrying the baby? You should come out like this now. What do you mean by that? No, do like that." Right on the road. It's a culture. It's a culture. So even in the army, like Jews can, a general, like a common soldier can actually ask you, like, the way you almost got us killed out there, what were you doing? What were you thinking? How can you say that? And then they will argue about, and they can actually scale it and get you fired. Like, that's the Israeli, there's a lovely book on that, the Jews, trying to remember the name, but that's how they do it. So many times we feel that being challenged is a bad thing, but the truth about it is that being challenged can actually help, to actually make progress. The only thing I would say is that you should know your approach. Obviously, we're not in Jewish culture, we can't try it here. So you should still be able to, I guess in the end, is the approach, how to communicate to your parents that, look,
respect.
Yeah, respectfully. Yeah. Maybe when they're not stressed, because I think that's another thing. When they are so stressed, they cannot. They can't think
they'll
about.
Go off on you.
Yeah.
You think they're monsters.
Exactly. So you wait till mother, father is in a cool, jovial, whatever.
Just relaxing.
Yes,
you now come.
You now come, and then you begin to talk. And then probably things will go better from there on.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah, that's it. So this really has been, I think, a more open conversation, and then we had so much fun talking about it, and I learned a lot from you guys, because really people have different backgrounds, They have different ways they grew up. So it's like your experience taught me something, your experience taught me something. So yeah, and just the knowledge from Mr. Isen was beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful, beautiful.
it was like the main meal.
Yeah. So, like, we really learned a lot today. I hope you did because I did, and I hope you guys did too.
I did.
So, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We're so happy to have you on Pure Vibes. And if you have any questions, please don't forget to drop it at Amara_KL on IG and Amara_YL on Twitter. See you next time. Bye, guys.
It's a wrap.
Thank you, Jesus.
So, okay, so
I have
start ordering like
Yeah, I have time.